A millionaire left his fiancée without a word. 7 years later, his life is in her hands. Dr. Noah Kingsley scrubs in with steady, practiced motions. For 7 years, she has lifted herself alone. Night shifts, a child's shoes by the door. She built a new life from silence. A siren climbs. Male, late 30s. Blunt chest blow. Noah moves because moving keeps her alive. The doors fly open. The gurney rushes in. Ultrasound now. Prep to open. Blood maps a cheek she once kissed. It is him. The man who vanished with no goodbye. The man who left her holding more than grief. Heat pricks behind her eyes. Patient, not past, she tells herself. Her pulse answers. She steadies her breath. She chooses the life in front of her. Hold compressions, she says, voice steady. I've got him. If you were in her place, what would you do next, and why? Share your guess for the next turn, then stay with the story. The doors slide open as the gurney surges through. Paramedics count compressions. Noah steps to the rail and looks down. The bruised face tilts toward the light. For a breath, the room tilts with it. Julian Cross. The name crashes through her like cold water. The ring she sold. The morning he vanished. The child's shoes by the door. All of it flares and burns out. She forces the breath back into her body. Patient, not past. She finds the rhythm. Switch compressors. Bag now. Her voice steadies the room. Someone reads out vitals. Pressure falling. Oxygen low. The mask fogs again. Julian's lashes twitch and settle. Noah will not look at the history hiding there. She looks at the numbers instead. She reaches for the probe. Cardiac ultrasound. Gel hits skin. Shadows bloom on the screen. A dark pocket around the heart. Tamponade. The word lands like a gavel. We need to open. Footsteps pound the hall. A voice answers with policy and caution. Dr. Kingsley, please step away. Dr. Mills arrives with the department chair and an ethics officer. Their faces are careful masks. Conflict of interest, the chair says. You have a personal history with the patient. Personal feels like a hand on her chest. Noah keeps her eyes on the monitor. The effusion deepens every beat. Numbers slip. He is dying now, she says. I am the only surgeon on site with open-chest emergency experience. The officer shakes his head. We cannot expose the hospital to liability. Another surgeon is on the way. How far? She asks. 20 minutes. A minute is a life in this room. 20 is a sentence. Noah faces them. I accept oversight, record every move, put 2 attendings in here. I sign responsibility. But if we wait, he arrests again. If he arrests, he may not come back. The speaker clicks. The rhythm stumbles. Pressure drops another notch. The ticking clock turns siren. Decide, she says. He does not have 20 minutes. Your call decides if a man breathes again tonight. The chair glances at the monitor and then at the clock. He exhales through his nose. Temporary authorization, he says. You proceed only to relieve tamponade. All actions recorded. Dr. Mills will observe. Noah nods once. Understood. She signs the form with a firm stroke. The pen feels heavier than steel. She turns to the team. We are opening the chest. Pericardiotomy ready. Blood products on standby. Call anesthesia now. Hands move. The room tightens into one intent. Noah steps to the field. Her mind drops into steel focus. Patient, not past. She speaks in short, clean lines. Clamp. Retractor. Suction. The skin parts. The ribs give. The sac appears, tense and shining. Time shrinks to what fits between beats. She feels the weight of oversight and lets it steady her, not shake her. Doc, a nurse murmurs, pressure is falling. I see it. Record this, Dr. Mills says. Entry to pericardium at time mark. Noah lifts her eyes once to the face she once loved. Then she goes in. The pericardium is tense as glass. Noah nicks it with measured care. Blood spills, dark and urgent, then frees the strangled heart. The monitor wavers, then finds a stronger line. A breath rolls through the room, like a tide they were all holding. Continue suction. She inspects for injury. Contusion, yes. Laceration, no obvious tear. She places a drain. She reinforces what must hold. The rhythm gathers itself. Pressure inches up. Oxygen climbs. Her hands remember what the years demanded. Precision under fire, calm when the world burns. She built those hands while feeding a child. She keeps her voice even. Closure sequence. Monitor for arrhythmia. Blood to the lab. Dr. Mills watches and signs off each step. The ethics officer stands silent, recording everything. Their presence is a weight. It is also a witness. When Noah finally steps back, the heart beats steady. Not perfect, possible. She exhales and feels the tremor afterwards. She has dragged him back from a cliff. Now she must face the cliff inside herself. Outside the operating room, the world sounds different. Noah leans against a cool wall and lets the adrenaline drain from her body. The silence after saving a life is never quiet. It is a roar that finally lands. 7 years fold themselves open. The proposal under city lights. His laugh in her ear. The morning he was gone, apartment stripped to echo. She remembers the ring she sold to finish school. The way Zora's first cry cut her open and stitched her closed. Her phone buzzes. A message from Shelley. Zora is asleep. Proud of you. Noah types back with steady thumbs. Long night. Hug her for me. She stares at the screen as if it could answer everything she cannot. She knows the next step is not surgery. It is the choice between protection and forgiveness. He is upstairs, alive because of her hands. She is here, intact because she learned to live without his. Noah pushes from the wall and walks toward ICU, breath gathered one more time. ICU is dim and steady, a city of small lights. Julian lies propped, sedated, lines arching into machines that beep. Noah sits beside the bed and lets the quiet fill what words cannot. He looks older, silver at the temples, a small scar by his left eye. The life she did not see has written itself on his face. She studies it without touching. She hears her pulse in her ears. She leans closer, not too close. I saved your life tonight, she whispers. I don't know if I can forgive you for leaving mine. The truth is simple and heavy. It lands between them like a stone. She thinks of Zora asleep, of school lunches and science projects and ballet shoes, of nights when fear felt like a bill she could not pay. She kept going. She will keep going tomorrow. Noah stands, sits again. She is not finished with this room. She is not finished with him. Patient, not past, she repeats, and stays until the monitors calm her. Morning finds the room thinner and bright. Julian stirs under sedation. His eyes move beneath their lids, then open, dark and unfocused. Noah checks the monitors first. Stable enough, she steps into view. Recognition builds slow, like dawn on glass. He blinks. The tube prevents words. His brow knots with questions and relief and something like shame. Noah feels the ache reach for her. She lets it pass without taking her hand. Don't try to talk, she says, even. You were in a serious accident. We relieved pressure around your heart. You're stable. We will remove the tube when your lungs are ready. His hand lifts an inch from the sheet, then falls. She does not take it. She adjusts a line instead. Patient, not past. He watches her with the look that once saw through guards she owned. It does not get past this one. Not today. She finishes the exam. We'll keep monitoring. She steps back. His eyes follow her until the doorframe takes her out of view. 2 days pass, measured by alarms and notes. Noah keeps a third person in every interaction. Residents rotate. Nurses hover, alert. The rule is simple. She is never alone with him. Julian grows stronger in steps. The tube comes out. His voice is rough sand. He says thank you to everyone but her. He watches her the way a man watches a shoreline from a raft. Close. Not safe to land. Noah sticks to work. She checks drains. She asks about pain. She documents trends and plans. She uses words that hold exactly as much as they should and not more. Professionalism becomes a wall she can breathe behind. At night, she goes home to Zora and to rituals that kept them whole. Homework, dishes, a dance in the kitchen. She sleeps. She wakes. She returns. He waits for a chance to speak without witnesses. She does not give him one. Not yet. The past has teeth. The present has rules. Boundaries, she reminds herself, are not cruelty. They are care. Night settles and the corridor thins. A resident steps out to take a call. For the first time since the crash, the room is two people. Julian is upright, pale but present. Noah stands by the chart, giving herself last shield. "You can't avoid me forever," he says, voice low and frayed. She does not flinch. "Why did you disappear?" He swallows. "Because they threatened you." The words are blunt. "My partner was laundering money through our platform. I confronted him. He named you. Pictures of you leaving your apartment, your coffee shop. They said accidents happen." The air tightens. He keeps going. "I went to the FBI. Witness protection. No contact allowed. They said any message could get you hurt. I asked to send proof I was alive. They refused." 7 years bend inside the space between them. "You let me drown," Noah whispers. "I thought you chose to leave." "I chose to hide you where they couldn't reach," he says. "I never stopped watching the door for you." He lowers his eyes, then lifts them with something like prayer. "I stayed back when it was safe to do so," he says. "I watched from the edges. Airports, lobbies. I learned the times you walked out with a lunch you barely ate." His voice thins. "I know what you sold." Noah blinks. "What did I sell?" "The ring." The word lands softly, as if it might break. "I found it. It took months. Resellers, a jeweler in Queens. I bought it back." He nods toward the plastic bag of personal effects at the foot of the bed. "It's there. I kept it with me. Not to pressure you. To carry the promise I broke." Her hand hovers over the bag, then stops. The room seems to tip again. Money had kept her in school, but it also measured the weight of their ruin. Here it becomes something else, a circle that survived a fire. She sets the bag down unopened. "Proof is not words," she says. "Proof is what you do next." Noah stands as if to leave, then faces him square. "There is a child," she says. "Her name is Zora. She is 7. She has never met her father." The silence moves between them, deliberate and heavy. Julian's breath stutters. "I guessed. The timing. Her eyes in that photo on your desk. She is stable, happy, safe. Those are my first jobs." Noah's tone is not sharp. It is shaped by nights without sleep and mornings that still worked. "If you want anything with us, it will be slow, measured. You will meet guidelines, not moments." He nods too fast. "Name them. Honesty without theatrics. Consistency without excuses. No surprise visits. Nothing that startles her life." She holds his gaze. "And understand this. The story you told me may be true, but truth still needs time to settle. I will not rush my child into a reunion I cannot trust." Julian swallows pain that contains relief. "I will wait," he says, "for both of you." Morning walks in on quiet feet. Noah leaves the unit and heads for coffee she does not drink. She stands at a window and watches the city lift itself into day. Doubt stands beside her like an old friend. If she believes him, does she betray the woman who learned to thrive without him? If she refuses him, does she betray the woman who once believed in mercy? Both versions of herself look back, asking for fairness. Both deserve it. She thinks of tuition receipts, of rent paid on time by sheer force, of Zora's laughter when a paper rocket touches the ceiling. She thinks of the ring still in the bag, symbol and wound both at once. Noah presses her palm flat to the cool glass. She does not have to solve 7 years today. She has to choose the next right inch. She turns from the window, steadier than a minute ago. She will go back. She will set the pace, She will listen, and she will measure. Shelley texts that she is in the lobby with a surprise. Before Noah can reply, the door clicks. Zora stands there, small in a purple dress, sneakers bright as new chalk. Shelley hovers in the hallway, eyes asking permission. Noah nods once. Zora takes 2 quiet steps and then stops, curious. Julian lifts his head and forgets how to breathe. The world narrows to the tilt of a child's chin, the same curl pattern, the same angle of smile waiting to happen. No one speaks. Machines do the talking for them. Zora looks at her mother. Noah's face is calm, but her hand trembles, hidden in her pocket. "You can say hello," Noah says gently. "Hi," Zora says, the word soft as a new leaf. Julian's mouth opens, but nothing arrives. He lifts a hand halfway, then lowers it, as if the air were sacred ground. He has built and lost fortunes. He has faced men with guns. None of it prepared him for the weight of 7 missed birthdays in one heartbeat. Zora studies him with a scientist's focus. She points at the chest dressing. "Mommy fixes hearts. Did she fix yours?" Julian's eyes shine. He looks at Noah before he answers. "In more ways than one," he says. The line lands and sits there, simple and true. Zora nods, satisfied with the data. "Good," she says, "because hearts are important. Our teacher says they never stop." She glances at the monitor. "Yours stopped a little?" "A little," he admits. "She started it again." Zora leans closer to her mother. "Can I draw him a picture? For the wall?" Noah swallows the ache. "Yes," she says. "One picture." Shelley steps in and touches Zora's shoulder. "We'll let the patient rest soon," she whispers. Zora waves small fingers at Julian. "Bye for now." When the door closes, Julian looks at Noah with awe and apology braided tight. Noah does not cry. She has learned how not to, but something inside her loosens, like a knot agreeing to think about untying. Noah sits again and sets the ground like bricks. "We will try short visits. Always supervised, always scheduled. Public places first. If she asks, you answer simply, not with secrets, not with drama." Julian nods. "I can do that." "You will not promise what you cannot deliver." Her voice is calm steel. "You will not use money to buy comfort. You will show up, on time." "Understood." If she pulls back, you pause. If she leans in, you follow, gently. Noah watches his face for impatience. She finds none, only the strain of a man holding still for the first time in a long time. "And me," she adds. "I will need space. I might need to stop. I decide the pace." "I accept all of it," he says. "I am here to earn, not to demand." Something inside her trusts the shape of those words, not the promise. The posture. She rises. "We'll start with a Saturday in the garden. 1 hour, you bring a book." He smiles, careful. Science, then. That night, Noah lies awake and listens to the apartment breathe. The fridge hums. A bus sighs outside. Zora mumbles in sleep. Ordinary sounds. They once held back a flood. She remembers grocery totals that made her palms sweat. She remembers the first time Zora said, "Mom, I've got it," and tied her own shoe. She remembers finishing a 12-hour shift and reading a bedtime chapter anyway. Voice raw but steady. The loneliness had edges, but it also had a spine. It made her. If she lets him in, who does she stop being? If she keeps him out, what story does she teach her child about repair? The questions circle, patient as stars. Noah turns on her side and watches the shape of Zora's door. She will not trade their stability for a fantasy. She will not trade healing for haste. But she will not teach fear as faith. When sleep finally comes, it feels like permission. In the morning, she will text a time and a place. 1 hour. A chance. Not a verdict. She returns to the hospital and finds Julian more alert. He reaches for water, then for courage. "There's something else," he says. "You said proof is what I do next. I started already." Noah waits. "I hired a team when I woke in ICU. Discreet. Licensed. They watch perimeters, not people. They coordinate with off-duty officers. I asked them to focus on you and Zora until I was strong enough to stand in front. He looks down, then up again. I did not want to scare you. I wanted you safe before you knew you might need it. The words take a moment to land. They do not fix the past. They touch the present with a steadier hand. Action, not apology. Preparation, not pressure. Noah considers the line between caution and control. His plan sits on the right side of it. Keep it quiet, she says. No sharp corners. If they see anything, they tell the police first, then me. Julian nods. Understood. For the first time, trust moves a fraction toward him. They write it down because paper holds both hope and memory. Week 1. 1-hour garden visits, supervised by Shelley. Week 2. Add a library hour. Week 3. 1 school pickup with Noah present. Reviews every Friday. No surprises. Noah adds the rules that protect everyone. If you are late by more than 10 minutes, the visit is canceled. If Zora looks tired, we end early. You do not post photos. You do not buy large gifts. Julian agrees. I will bring books, maybe a small dinosaur. Triceratops only, Noah says before she can stop herself. The ghost of a smile moves between them. It feels human. It feels earned. She signs her name below his. The ink shines and dries. It is not a contract a court would honor. It is the kind 2 people keep because they choose to. Thank you, he says. Do not thank me yet, she answers. Show up. That will be thanks enough. He bows his head as if accepting a blessing. In truth, it is a task. The first visit happens under trees. Zora sits cross-legged with a notebook. Julian reads a short science book about comets. He pauses for questions. She has many. He answers what he knows and says, I'll find out, when he does not. No promises, no big gestures, just pages and patience. Noah sits with Shelley nearby and watches for strain. Zora's shoulders stay loose. Her laugh arrives on time. When the hour ends, Julian stands first. That was good, he says. We can stop here. He arrives early for the next visit. He brings a library card application and waits while Noah reads the fine print. He does not push. He does not pout. He texts updates after each day. Short, factual, polite. At night, Noah notes the pattern. No missed calls, no sudden plans. He is doing the small, dull work of repair. It is the only kind that lasts. Trust does not leap. It steps. She lets it take one more. Tomorrow, she will allow a school pickup. With her there. With boundaries intact. They sit on a bench outside the library, the paper plan folded between them. Julian watches children chase shadows. He keeps his voice quiet. I can't make up 7 years, he says. I can own every day after. The words are plain. They land with weight. Noah does not answer. She lets the sentence breathe. It is not a flower. It is a brick. Zora runs up with a new card in her hand. She beams. We can borrow 10 books, she says. Julian smiles and lifts a hand for a high five. She slaps it and dashes back. Noah studies him for cracks. She finds steadiness instead. A man learning to stand in small, honest ways. Her chest loosens the smallest degree. The day holds. When the hour ends, he steps back first. Same time next week, he says. No push, no plea. Only that single line he offered. Not a promise to erase. A promise to show up. Noah nods once. Her heart tilts, not topples. The brick stays. Over coffee at her kitchen table, Noah lays out the next horizon, 90 days. If he keeps every line, she will widen the gate. More school pickups, a museum day, a short afternoon without Shelley in the room. The plan is measured like medicine. Julian listens without interrupting. 90 days, he repeats. An internship in fatherhood. She allows herself half a smile. Unpaid. Best terms I've had in years. He signs the schedule copy she made. He adds his phone numbers and the contact for his security lead. "If anything feels off," he says, "you call them or me. We pause a visit. We reset. No pride, only safety." The words steady her. Rules are not walls, they are handrails. If he can hold them, she might open the next door without fear. Zora pads out in socks and asks for pancakes for dinner. Julian laughs. "A daring plan," he says. Noah lifts a brow. 90 days first. He nods. A man who has finally learned the difference between want and worth. It is a soft day. Zora waves a worksheet about comets and wins a grin from Noah. They bake box brownies and call it a feast. The apartment smells like sugar and calm. Later, a text arrives from Julian. Short, respectful. "I'm nearby if needed. No pressure." Noah types back. "All good, thank you." The exchange sits in her phone like a feather. Light, harmless. She puts it away and returns to homework checks and bedtime routines that always land the same way. In the silence after lights out, she thinks of the plan's steady ladder. She thinks of the past week without a single broken rung. She lets herself imagine a summer day with 3 chairs under a shared shade. It is not a vow. It is a picture she can look at and then set down. Outside, the city hums. Somewhere, someone makes a bad choice. She does not know it yet. All she feels is the rare gift of a day that asked for nothing extra and gave back peace. Morning breaks hard at Harbor Light. A complex valve case arrives on the schedule. Rare anatomy. Narrow margins. Noah scrubs and steps into hours that will take everything she has. She places her phone in the locker and shuts the door. It begins to buzz against metal before she reaches the sink. She files the sound away. The patient needs all of her. She threads stitches through tissue that bruises if you look at it wrong. The clock sneaks. The phone trembles on the other side of steel. She cannot touch either. In the middle hour, a bleed blossoms and demands grace. She answers with skill that cost her years. The field settles. The rhythm finds itself again. She keeps moving. She does not hear the second chorus of calls. She does not see Shelley's name stack itself in red. By the close, the valve holds. The heart chooses forward. Noah peels off gloves with tired hands and lets relief bloom. Only then does she open the locker. 20 missed calls stare back like a storm. Her fingers misfire on the screen. She calls Shelley. The answer hits fast. "Men at Oak Ridge," Shelley says, breath torn. "They tried to take Zora. Lockdown. Police here. FBI called. She's safe. She's safe." The room tilts. The floor finds her feet again. "Where is she now?" "At home with me. Agents are setting up. Get here." Noah moves without noticing distance. By the time she reaches the apartment, the living room holds badges and questions. Zora sits wrapped in a blanket, cheeks blotched but brave. Noah drops to her knees and holds her. The smell of her child's hair pulls the world into focus. Zora whispers, "My teacher wouldn't let them take me." "I know," Noah says, "I know." Agent Dana Whitaker steps forward, measured and clear. "We have 2 suspects in custody. There may be a third." Noah looks up with a kind of fury that makes rooms hush. Who sent them? The answer will arrive in pieces. For now, the truth is simple. The threat found their door, and her child is still in her arms. Agent Whitaker lays out the line of events on the coffee table. An associate from Julian's old world slipped back into the country. He tried to find leverage after failing to find the man. He used a school roster as a map. He sent men who thought a pickup line could be a snare. Noah listens with that still face she uses in crisis. Inside, the mother storms the gates. Outside, the doctor asks clean questions. How close did they get? What failed in their plan? "They never reached her," Dana says. "Your school's protocol held. Staff called it in fast. Cameras gave us faces. We moved." "And why Zora?" Noah asks, though the answer is already bleeding into the room. "Because Julian is back in public light," Dana says. Loose ends tighten when men like that come home. Silence presses on the walls. Then Zora speaks into Noah's sleeve. Am I in trouble? Noah kisses her hair. You are the bravest person in the city. She does not say the rest. The city almost failed you. Dana opens a folder and slides photos forward. Streets near Oak Ridge. A parked car with a permit. 2 men on foot rerouted by a third man who never shows his face. A timestamp that beats the 911 call by 1 minute. Private security, Dana says. Hired by Julian Cross after ICU discharge. Licensed. Coordinated with us today. They alerted and blocked the exit before the attempt became an abduction. Noah studies the sequence. It is not grand. It is precise. Action, not theater. He didn't tell me, she says. Sometimes good protection is quiet, Dana answers. For what it's worth, it helped. Helped is a small word for the hole she almost fell through. Noah's shoulders loosen, then shake once in a private aftershock. She looks at Zora. The blanket has slid to the floor. The child is drawing a comet with a blunt crayon. Noah's phone vibrates. A message from an unknown number. At the precinct, giving statements. Is Zora okay? She exhales a thank you she cannot send yet. She is not ready for words. She is ready for a decision. Night drapes the apartment in small lamps. Zora sleeps. Shelley washes a cup just to have something to do. Noah stands with the phone in her hand and the day like a weight over her bones. She scrolls to the unknown number and presses call. He answers on the first ring. Is she okay? His voice is raw. She is, Noah says. The words taste like relief. Because of you. Because you put a net under us before I knew we might fall. Silence holds them for a heartbeat. She fills it. Come to dinner tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Nothing big. We'll keep it simple. He does not gasp. He does not pour out gratitude. I'll bring dinner, he says, and flowers for Shelley, and something small for Zora. He pauses. Something small. Good, Noah says. Small is how we do this. They end the call like people setting a table. Noah leans her head against the wall and closes her eyes. The line between fear and trust moves a little toward light. He arrives early with takeout that tastes like comfort and a stuffed triceratops wrapped in tissue. Zora laughs and names it Comet. He gives Shelley flowers that smell like rain. He thanks her for the kind of courage that gets missed in headlines. At the table, talk stays easy. Zora leads. She asks him about comets and work and whether dinosaurs would have liked broccoli. He keeps answers simple. I used to build things on screens. Now I'm building a life that is not on a screen. Noah watches his edges for sharpness. She finds patience instead. After dishes, he shares a quiet plan. A foundation in Zora's name. Grants for pediatric cardiac research. Travel funds for families who cannot afford to get to care. Money turned into meaning. Reputation turned into service. He does not pitch it. He offers it like a thank you that can work when he is not in the room. Before he leaves, he says, I don't want the past back. I want the future. I can wait. Noah believes him 1 inch. Days stack into months. The plan holds. He shows up early. He leaves when Zora yawns. Report cards and library slips mark time. No cliffhangers, just steps. On her 8th birthday, he kneels between dinosaur balloons and opens a small box. The ring she once sold shines again in her palm. I bought it back, he says, only when you're ready. She looks at Zora, who whispers, say yes when your heart says yes. Noah lifts the ring and closes the box. My heart says soon, she answers. He nods, content with the truth. They marry later in the hospital chapel where life restarted. Vows speak in plain language. No fear will take me from you, he says. I will stand where danger tries to stand. Noah answers, I will trust what you do, not what you promise. Zora scatters petals like bright commas. The story ends where lives keep going. Love as responsibility, justice as safety, hearts protected, not just repaired. If this journey gave you hope, share it with someone who needs a handhold today. And if you want more stories like this, follow along and join us.